Hey everyone, I'll take a look at the new Player of the Week pack on eFootball. We've also got new nominating contract and match pass players. I'll be doing a video separately to review all of those players. That video will be next. Hopefully I'll get that live sometime this afternoon. For this pack, as always, I'll put timestamps in the description. So if you want to hear about a particular player in this pack, click in the description and there'll be a link to take you straight to them. So they're all 5 stars this week. And let's start with one of the low rated ones. Got a bunch of 93 rated players. So start with Milan Škriniar. So it's the first time for the Player of the Week version of Škriniar. He has a face scan, of course. He's a destroyer centre-back. That's his usual playing style and position. I've had a few highlight versions. A couple one is at Inter, one from one is at PSG. All of those highlight cards slightly better than this one overall, mainly just because they're a bit better with the core defensive attributes. But we've got a bit more on acceleration, stamina, and a bit more on passing as well on this one compared to what you tend to get on those highlight cards, at least on auto allocation. We do have more skills on this card as well. So yeah, there is a lot to be said for this card. It's looking pretty solid, to be honest. Those core defensive attributes, pretty much where you want them to be. Down the left, he's not going to be great on the ball. You expect that from centre-backs in general, especially destroyers. Passing's decent though. Pace, not the quickest, but he's not terribly slow either. The jumping's not amazing, but 6'2", that's an okay height. We'll check his skills in a second for aerial. Physical contact, again, that's around the mark. So he's looking pretty solid, to be honest, as a centre-back. From his GP card, they boosted his passing a bit. They've nerfed his defensive attributes slightly, but like I say, they're still around the mark you need them to be. They're all going to be 90 plus with maximum game plan boost. His defensive engagement has actually gone up a bit, to be fair. They've nerfed so they've nerfed 3 of them, but defensive engagement has gone up a bit, so that's good. Pace had a nice boost from his GP card. Stamina's had a nice boost as well. You always tend to get that with these trending centre-back cards. And then skill-wise, so we do have aerial superiority. So not amazing jumping, but pretty average height. Aerial superiority, you'll be all right. Yeah, it won't be amazing, but he won't be too bad either. You've got heading as well. And then on the ground, low lofted pass. I think that's a new one. Is that new? Yeah, they've added low lofted pass. That's a nice bonus on the centre-back. But then in terms of the important ones, he's already got man marking. They've added interception. He's lacking that. That's an important one. He's already got blocker. They've added acrobatic clearance. Aerial superiority has been added. That's a new one. Yeah, he didn't already have that. So yeah, he does tend to lack 1 or 2 skills. I had a highlight card of his at one point, but yeah, it was the PSG one, and there's no French league challenge, and he was lacking a few skills. So for a card that he can't use in league challenges, I figured it wasn't worth putting skills on him. I eventually released him, but this one's got the skills. Basically, he's got just about every skill you need for a centre back, I think. And yeah, the attributes are looking pretty strong, to be honest. If you still get to do the Turkish League Challenge, this could be a fantastic card to pick up for that. I'd be one of the better centre-backs you can get for that challenge. If you don't get it, obviously that means that the amount of use you'll get for this guy will be severely limited, but he could still do a job for you. Whether you rock a Slovenia squad, it's Slovenia, isn't it? Not Slovakia. I always get the two confused. Yeah, Slovakia, my bad, I apologise. So Slovakia, yeah. If you rock a Slovakia squad, it'd be great for that. But even in divisions in general, it's a solid card as a destroyer. He's not on the top level with the kind of, the latest legends and so on. Obviously, that goes without saying. But, he's strong defensively down the left. Certainly with the passing, he's decent, even if he's not great on the ball. I mean, the balance is horrible. But this is a destroyer centre-back, and for a destroyer, the kind of profile he's got with the attributes he's got, I think he's pretty solid, to be honest. I don't think you can complain. Like I say, if you've got some of the top centre-backs, he's not going to get in your team. But outside of that, if you're free to play especially, I think it's a solid centre-back card. Skill-wise, everything you need. He might not be the quickest, and he might not be amazing in the air, but I don't think he's really lacking anywhere. Not majorly anyway. Certainly the core defensive attributes, physical strength. I think it's a solid centre-back card. I think especially for fans of Fenerbahce, if you're a fan of this guy for any other reason, could be a very nice. It's a good version of him. Could be a very nice one to pick up. But in general, if you don't have that many great centre-back options when this guy's in form, he can do a very solid job for you as a destroyer centre-back. I think it's a pretty good solid card, that. And next we have Nicola Zalewski, who's on loan at Inter from Roma. Got a face scan. He's a whole player this time. He's normally a box-to-box. They switched his registered position from left midfield to attack midfield, but he's already got attack midfield, so it doesn't make any difference to what positions he can play. But he is a whole player now, so it's an interesting change of playing style. We had a bunch of trainable versions of Zalewski. Never had a Player of the Week version. If you look at the better trainable versions, they're probably a little bit better if you play them out wide than this one. Not so good as an attacking mid, mainly because of the awareness and finishing that you've got on this version of him. But it's worth keeping in mind the playing style, because all his trainable versions, all his highlight cards are box-to-box. So box-to-box would be active left midfield, but not as a left wing forward and not as an attacking midfielder. with a whole player. That playing style is going to be active left midfield and attacking midfield, and not as a left wing forward. So yeah, as an attacking midfield, I think having whole players and active playing style definitely preferable, but it just depends on the attributes. But yeah, like I say, the better highlight card's probably a bit better out wide, but as an attacking midfielder, this one probably a bit better, certainly, at least looking at the attributes. Although there is one big concern with this guy as an attacking midfielder. 82 for low pass. He doesn't have one touch pass. He doesn't even have through passing. I mean, what are we doing with this guy? Why are we making an attacking midfielder who can't pass the ball to save his life? What's the plan here, Konami? I don't understand. What's the selling point? Please use some coins to spin this pack for this attacking midfielder who's absolutely hopeless at attacking midfield. No, give me a break. So I don't know. I mean, if he plays an attacking midfielder and his passing wasn't good, fair enough. But if his passing wasn't good, then why is he in Player of the Week? I guess you could do other things from an attacking midfield. I didn't see the match, but yeah. Anyways, he's a whole player. He's an attacking midfielder, but he can still play on the left, thankfully, which I think is where he's gonna be best. I think it's pretty clear. But let's compare him to his GP card. What they changed? They boosted him a bit in a bunch of areas. They boosted his kicking power a bit. His balance is up a bit. That doesn't always happen with attacking players in Player of the Week. Attacking awareness is up a bit. Passing, finishing's had a nice boost. Nice boost on his defending and his physical contact as well. Attacking players always get a boost in their defensives, of course. That always makes sense, I guess. I mean, fair enough in some cases, but yeah. Stamina's down a bit. Apart from that, though, no real nerfing anywhere. Just a bit of a boost in a bunch of areas, especially the finishing. And then skill-wise, we've lost Scotch Move. I think we can live without that. We've gained Cut Behind and Turn. Soul Control is a nice addition. Long-range shooting. We've already got long-range curler as well. And Fighting Spirit. So, yeah, we've got some shooting skills there. Some skills on the ball as well. Just a shame he's not got the passing skills. You're just not going to get very far with this guy as an attacking midfielder with his lack of passing ability, which is a real shame. But like I say, wide left, whether you play him left midfield with a whole player playing style active, or whether you're playing without an active playing style as a left wing forward, he's got a bit of pace. He's not amazing on the ball, but he's decent enough. The awareness will go past 80 with your game plan boost. Finishing isn't amazing, but it could be worse. He's got those shooting skills, remember. Soul Control, long range curl, long range shooting. So cutting in from the left flank onto his right foot. Yeah, he could be pretty handy. It's not an amazing card. There are attributes I'd like to be a bit higher. If I want him wide left, I'd like a little bit more speed. I'd like a bit more on his on-the-ball attributes. Certainly, I'd like those passing skills, even out wide, especially through the middle. But yeah, through the middle without the passing skills, absolute non-starter for me. But playing on wide left with a bit of pace, a little bit of on-the-ball ability there. Down the left column, he's pretty much decent everywhere. Not really amazing anyway, just decent everywhere for a left winger, right foot left winger. So yeah, could be a decent option for the Italian league change. I don't think it's a particularly bad card as a left winger, certainly, but it's not an amazing one either. So yeah, for the Italian league change, maybe it's a useful option for one people to pick up. And it's not a terrible card by any means, but I don't think it's a great one either. But just especially through the middle, I wouldn't put him there because having an attacking midfielder who can't pass the ball to save his life is just. Yeah, it just doesn't add up to me. But yeah, certainly as a left wing option, could be decent, but it's not an amazing card. And next we have Noa Lang from PSV. So we've actually had a previous Player of the Week version of Lang. That was from an international week. That was a left midfielder. He had a left midfielder on that card. He was also a roaming flank, whereas this one's a prolific winger, which is his regular playing style. And that previous Player of the Week card had a bit more on passing and finishing than this one, but this one's better in certain other areas. Not a massive difference overall, to be honest. Had a couple of highlight versions of Lang as well. Pretty similar on the whole to this one, but the one noticeable difference, a real noticeable difference, this one's quite a bit more physical contact. That's one of the attributes that's been boosted the most from his GP card. They put a lot of points on physical contact. It's a nice boost on his finishing as well. They've also put a few points on his speed. His kicking power is up a bit. His defending, of course, has been boosted. Lost a few points of acceleration, but this is a booster, and when he's on A form, he gets those points back. Yay! Yeah, so solid looking card, to be honest. I'd like a little bit more speed, but overall he's got pretty decent pace. He's pretty tidy on the ball, good attacking awareness. The passing's not great, you'll have to be careful with that. Finishing's decent though. He's got long range curler. Let's check the skill situation. No, that's a bit of a shame. Okay, so as a right footed left winger with a light long range curler, but we do have long range shooting, got first time shot, got through passing. What's new here? Oh, so long range shooting and first time shot are both new. Okay, and fighting spirit's new as well. The only one we've lost is gamesmanship. I think we can live without that. So yeah, pretty good selection of skills in the whole. You got soul control, double touch. The double touches are like that, of course. Long range shooting, heel trick's a nice one. Through passing out will help his passing, which isn't great. Outside curler's handy. Fighting spirit's a nice one to have on any player. So yeah, even with through passing, you'll have to be careful with his passing. Don't ask too much of him. But yeah, even when he's not an A form, pretty solid looking card. Not amazing. One big downside, obviously, is we don't get a Dutch league challenge. So it's a question of what you're going to use this guy for. If you rock a Netherlands squad, could be a handy one. Otherwise, for divisions, can he do a job for you? Yeah, certainly. I think the one thing that would have really been nice would have been long range curler, to be honest, coming off that left wing. But yeah, even without it, to be honest, I think it could be a handy option off the left wing. Just another one of these cards where, without a league challenge to use him in, it's just a question of whether he's going to get anywhere near your squad, because unless you're free to play, I think most people have probably got better options. But it is a pretty tidy card. He's got some pace. He's pretty tidy on the ball. You're wearing some finishing off the left flank. Yes, he can't really pass the ball very well, even with through passing, but he's wearing some finishing. You know what he's going to be good at primarily, and that's getting the ball into his right foot and getting shots away. Got a little bit of physical strength about him. Reasonable balance. Got a face scan. Yeah, there's plenty to be said for this guy. It's a tidy enough card, this. I wouldn't play him through the middle. He can't pass the ball. He's nowhere near good enough at passing to play through the middle as a kind of number 10. Right wing, as a right footer. Yes, he's got pinpoint crossing, but 71 lofted pass. You can't cross the ball very well. So yeah, he's very much going to be a right-footed left winger. The lack of lead challenge does hinder the card quite a bit. It devalues it quite a bit, but he does have quite a few qualities, this guy. He's got some pretty good attributes, especially on A form. He's got some decent skills, even if long range curler would have been nice. So yeah, there are some downsides to this card, but I think if you do get this guy, like I say, if you've got a lot of the, the top kind of legends and Showtime cards, he's probably not going to get anywhere near your team. But if that's not the case, especially if you're free to play, he could be a handy one to pick up. It's not a bad card at all. I think it's definitely better than Zalewski on the left wing. And yeah, even though there are downsides, I do think it's a decent enough card. It might be one of these cards where if you pick it up and you're not too excited by it, it might be worth giving it a try. You might find it's a handy one to have in your ranks. So yeah, not an amazing card, but it's a pretty decent one, this one. And next up we have Thomas Müller, who's in Player of the Week apparently just because he's played his last home game for Bayern. That apparently is a big enough accomplishment to get him Player of the Week, because looking at all the stats, I didn't see the game, but looking at the stats, he didn't play particularly well. No goals, no assists. Everyone seemed to give him about a 7 out of 10. Eze had an amazing game. Neuer had a very good game, but yeah, apparently Müller gets him Player of the Week because it's his last game at home for Bayern. But yeah, it is what it is. He's a very interesting card to have. Usually, one of the most interesting things about Müller is the fact he's a dummy runner, which is quite rare. Albeit we've had a few decent dummy runners lately, but he's not a dummy runner this time. He's a creative playmaker. So yeah, if you always want a creative playmaker version of Müller, then this could be a really interesting card for you. I personally don't particularly want a playmaker version of him, but it does make it an interesting version of him because I don't think he's ever been a playmaker before. They changed his position from SS to AMF as well. But he's already got both those positions. They've actually added centre midfield as a semi-proficient position, which is really helpful on a card which you can't position train. But yeah, it's basically a playmaker version of Müller. We've had a few player of the week versions of which are all whole players, similar overall, but the stats obviously shuffled around a bit. We've got a lot more pace on this one than previous player of the week cards. They boosted his pace quite a bit for some reason. I don't know if he suddenly became a lot quicker at the weekend, but yeah, got a lot more pace than the previous player of the week versions of Thomas Müller. Similar story with his highlight cards, to be honest. We've had a lot of highlight versions of Müller. We've had nominate contract ones, 1 or 2 free ones. To be honest, this card's around the same level as the better ones, but again, the stats are shuffled around a bit. Got a lot more pace on this version of him than we tend to get on any of his highlight cards, except for the recent Match Pass one. To be honest, if you compare this to the recent Match Pass one, very similar, apart from the playing style, of course, because the Match Pass one's a dummy runner. But if you kind of train that card to match this one, very, very similar overall, really. Just the playing style is the big difference. Compared to his GB card, of course, the pace has had a big boost. To be honest, the whole of the right column at least had a decent boost, except for his balance. They really don't like boosting balance on attacking players in Player of the Week for some reason. They boosted defensive ability, of course. His heading's had a nice boost as well. Yeah, that's about it, really. Not a lot else has really been boosted much. It's a tidy looking card. The passing, 85 low pass. I mean, you're in the kind of plus three territory for your game plan boost, but with the way the game is since the most recent update, the passing attributes being more important, is that high enough for you? Maybe for some, for others, maybe not so much. It's borderline for me. As an attacking midfielder, I'd say it's probably a bit on the low side. As an SS, I think it's probably fine because they have given him one-touch pass alongside through passing. He always has through passing, but they've added one-touch pass. What else have they added skill-wise? They're giving him long-range curler and long-range shooting. That's interesting. Double touch as well. I guess he must have done a double touch in that match at the weekend. What have they taken away? Cut behind and turn, acrobatic finishing, heel trick. Okay, so we've lost some decent skills there. Penalty specialist, we can live without that, but yeah, we've lost cut behind and turn, acrobatic finishing, and heel trick. Those 3 skills are going to be missed, I think, by a lot of people. But like I say, double touch, a lot of people will be pleased about that. Long range curler is a really nice addition, as is long range shooting and one touch pass alongside through passing. Still got outside curler, still a super sub, of course. So yeah, on the whole, a nice selection of skills there. He's got the passing skills then. So like I say, as an attacking mid, passing borderline for me. As an SS, I think it's fine. On the ball, he's fairly comfortable. He's obviously not a dribbler, albeit they have put his pace up quite a bit, and his on the ball attributes on the whole are all right. The attacking awareness in the 90s before the game plan boost, as you expect with Müller. On any Müller card, you're going to get fantastic attacking awareness, decent finishing. Balance is horrible. It's similar to his GP card. Something to keep in mind there. He's not got a lot of physical strength. A bit of kicking power on him. Yeah, it's an interesting Müller card. As a playmaker and as a super sub, it could be a handy one to have. Could be an interesting Müller card to have. One, it might just be one of these cards where if you get this card, it's maybe worth keeping hold of, just because it's such a rare one. Because I don't see us getting many more Müller cards, depending on where he goes next. The rumors are that he's going to the MLS, and of course we'll get 1 or 2 legend cards at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, might be one of these rare ones. It's kind of worth keeping hold of because it's a bit different. And it may well be one worth using for you. We don't get any kind of league challenge that you can use buying players in unless it's an unlimited one. Maybe you rock a Germany squad. Is he going to be good enough to get in your squad for divisions? Your best squad? Probably not, but it's a decent card. He's got some real qualities, playing in that hole behind the attack, fantastic attacking awareness. Even as a playmaker, he will still get into good positions, and he's technically pretty sound. So yeah, there are 1 or 2 weaknesses as you expect with Müller. The balance isn't great at all. He's obviously not much of a dribbler, but he's got more pace than he normally does. He's got one touch pass alongside through passing. He's got long range curler and long range shooting. He doesn't always have those. Long range curler can be a real difference maker with your finishing or first time shot as well. So plenty to be said for him. It's a very interesting version of Müller. Again, one of these cards, as is the case with a lot of them, the lack of league challenge does devalue the card quite a bit. But it's a Thomas Müller card. It's a very unique one with a creative playmaker playing style. It's got some interesting skills that have been added, even if we've lost a few decent skills. Then yeah, looking at the attributes, the boost to his pace could be a very interesting one. So might be the one for everyone. For some people might have another version of Müller they prefer. I prefer my dummy runner one from Match Pass last month. But yeah, I think a lot of people will be pretty pleased with this one. It's an interesting version, but it could be a very nice card to have for a lot of people. Our next booster card is Sørloth from Atletico Madrid. That's just activated booster straight away. We'll check, of course. He's got a face scan. We know this. Unwavering form on Sørloth these days. He's a left footer. He's a giant. And he's got the fox in the box playing style. We've had a bunch of Sørloth cards. I haven't said it right. Well, every commentator seems to say his name differently. I'm going to say Sørloth. But yeah, he's had a lot of different playing styles on the cards he's had. We've had a bunch of Player of the Week ones, a Player of the Season one, trending Player of the Season card. I've had a Showtime, which is probably the best version of him, and some highlights. He's been a goal poacher before. He's been a target man. He's been a fox in the box before. If you compare him to his previous trending cards, Player of the Week ones, this card's very similar to a previous booster that had the target man playing style. Overall, very similar to that one. There's another booster that was a goal poacher. This one's a bit better than that one, albeit that one was the one that had crazy passing, had like 90 for low pass. And this card is also better than the previous Fox in the Box Player of the Week card, and it's slightly better than his Player of the Season one when you get the A form boost. Not a massive difference though. I mean, you compare him to his highlight cards. Like I say, his Showtime version is the best version. Not a massive difference in terms of the attributes and the overall ability compared to this one, but some attributes are a bit higher, like jumping, and he's obviously got bullet header. That was obviously one of those one of the cards in that pack when they first released bullet heading, so obviously that version of him is going to be better in the air. I think that was a goal poacher if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been target man. But yeah, we're a fox in the box this time. And yeah, it compares well to his best trainable cards, to be honest. I've got an old goal poacher one from, I think it was the first time they released Rui Costa. I think he was in that box. I got it from that one. It's been power crept a bit, that card. It's not quite so good, but it's still pretty decent. Not a massive difference between that and the other and this version of Sørloth. And the other good versions. But yeah, looking at the better trainable versions, this one compares pretty well, to be honest. It's a good looking version of him. If you compare him to his GP card, he's in Player of the Week because he scored 4 goals, so naturally they've taken 1 away from his attacking awareness. I'm biting my tongue right now. We've lost the point of acceleration as well. I'm not going to make a lot of difference, but why bother? We've lost 7 points off balance. Right, okay. So I guess when you score 4 goals, your balance isn't as good as normal. 58 balance, that's horrific. Yeah. Where are they boosting though? There's got to be some good news. Right, kicking power's up a bit, even without the A form boost. His defending's been increased a bit. Excellent. Passing's been increased a bit. Finishing's had a bit of a boost. Excellent. So it went on A form. I mean, even before A form, you're going to hit 90 with your maximum game plan boost, but on A form, you're going to go up to 93 on finishing. Nice. Some good kicking power on as well. So this guy's finishing is going to be good. He's had a nice boost on the ball. He's still not amazing on the ball, but he has been boosted a lot. He doesn't tend to be that good on the ball, so a lot on any of his cards, really. Sure, 1 or 2, especially the Showtime, might be around about that level, but he's had a nice boost there from his GP card. Yeah, that's about it, really. It's a good looking version of Sørloth. I'd like more attacking awareness. He doesn't tend to have a lot of attacking awareness. That version I've got of him, that old goal poacher highlight card, it doesn't go up very high on his attacking awareness. I think on auto allocation it only goes to like 83 or something. So yeah, it's still not as high as I'd like it to be, but it could be worse. 85. It is in +3 territory, so your maximum game plan boost will get to 88. And yeah, on the ball, not a lot nicer than he normally is. He's still not going to be great on the ball. He is about 11 feet tall, and he's got absolutely horrendous balance. But yeah, could be worse on the ball for sure. Passing has been boosted a bit, but it's still not brilliant. Got a bit of pace. That's one thing that's interesting with Sørloth. It's one of these rare cards where he's a big, tall guy. He's good in the air, but he's actually got some pretty decent speed about him. And that kicking power, as I mentioned as well, that will make a difference. Some power behind his shots. Physically very strong. Jumping's not as high as it can be for Sørloth, but he's very, very tall. He's, what is that, 6'5", and he's got aerial as well. Let's look at the skills. Heading, accurate finishing, aerial superiority. So yeah, he's going to be strong in the air. He's going to have good vertical reach. Won't be amazing without that jumping attribute being high, but with the height he's got and aerial superiority, yeah, he's going to win some headers for you. If you're whipping a lot of crosses, and he will be effective from crosses. And that fox in the box playing style, like I always say, I find that's the most effective playing style for a striker in terms of the way they time their runs to get in the end of crosses. What they changed here skill-wise, we lost chip shot control. I think that's about it. And they've added one-touch pass and fighting spirit. Okay, so a couple of nice additions there. We've already got first-time shot, those aerial ones that I mentioned. Long-range curler as well. Rising shot, outside curler. He's got a good selection skills, very good selection skills for a centre-forward. And yeah, if that profile works for you, if you like putting a lot of crosses in, I think that's really the. I mean, he could work for a lot of people, to be fair, with a bit of pace about him, bit better on the ball than he normally is. I think a lot of people could get some joy from this guy, but I think especially with the fox in the box and that kind of physical profile of a target man, and with the attributes, being as tall as he is, as physically strong as he is, good in the air. I think if you're putting a lot of crosses in, you like a big, tall guy. As a kind of big, tall, physical focal point of your attack, he could be really, really good. I'm very tempted by this card. Like I said, I've got an old goal poacher highlight version of him. He's got a bit of speed. He's fantastic in the air. And this version of him looks very interesting. I prefer the fox and box playing style for a striker with this kind of a profile. So, yeah, I think with the playing style, unwavering form as well. The way they boosted him, yes, I'd like 1 or 2 attributes to be a bit higher. For what he is, I would like a bit more jumping, maybe a bit more attacking if I'm going to be greedy. But on the whole, the skills he's got, the attributes, the playing style, as a bit of an all-rounder up front. Tall, quick, strong, good in the air. This is a really, really strong centre-forward guy. It's a shame his balance is absolutely awful, but apart from that, yeah, I don't think anyone can complain, really. You can use him in a Spanish League challenge, and yeah, I think for a lot of people, obviously he's not going to be for everyone. If you like your strikers to be smaller, nimbler, you like to dribble a bit with your strikers and have that pace in behind the defence, even though you've got a bit of pace in this guy, you might not necessarily have the profile you're looking for, but I think for a lot of people with the strengths he's got, it could be a very, very good centre-forward to pick up. And here's another centre-forward who played so well as a centre-forward that he's got into Player of the Week with 3 less points on his attacking awareness than he normally has. Why? I think he scored. Did he score twice? Did he get a hat-trick? I don't know. He was obviously amongst the goals, Ramos, but yeah, good enough to get into Player of the Week as a striker. 3 points away from your attacking awareness. 6 points taken away from his balance as well. I've taken 7 points off his stamina, I think. Yikes. Harsh. Where have they boosted this Ramos card though? On the ball, passing, headings had a bit of a boost. Defending, of course. Pace has had a bit of a boost. Interesting. Kicking power as well. Interesting. He's got some real kicking power on him. Nice boost on his physical contact. Okay, so on the whole, a nice boost there. Absolutely ridiculous that they've nerfed his balance and attacking awareness, but I'm tired of ranting about that on these trending attacking players. But yeah, apart from that, the boost in just about every other area is looking very, very nice. He's got a very strong weaker foot. I'm not sure if they've boosted that though. Got a face scan, of course. It's a goal poacher, and yeah, giving you a bit of a boost to his pace with the goal poacher playing style, that is very welcome. We've had a couple of previous Player of the Week versions of Ramos, which weren't as quick as this. One was a goal poacher in a regular Player of the Week pack. One was an old World Cup Player of the Week card. That was a fox in the box. They're both fairly similar to this one overall, to be honest. The stats are shuffled around a bit with both of them. But yeah, I think the noticeable difference between this and the two previous Player of the Week cards of Gonçalo Ramos is the fact that you've got a bit more pace on this guy. He's still not quite as quick as I'd like a goal poacher to be, but he's certainly got a bit of pace about him. And his overall ability is around a similar level to most of his better highlight cards, to be honest, as well. Again, we've got a bit more pace on this one than he tends to have. More physical contact as well, and on the ball as the areas where he's had a nice boost from his GP card. But one downside to this version of him compared to his better highlight cards is that he's got considerably less attacking awareness. That's a real shame. It's a very important attribute on strikers. If I remember rightly, there's a chart that did the rounds a while back where someone posted it on Reddit, I think, and it showed the kind of order of the attributes of a player in terms of how they calculate the overall rating. So it told you kind of how important each attribute is for determining the overall rank of the player. And attacking awareness for me, I would assume it's one of the highest. I'm pretty sure I remember it being the highest, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, very annoying that's been nerfed a bit, but it is what it is. Like I say, elsewhere the boost they're giving him is pretty good in just about every area, really. Just the balance and the attacking awareness. Let's look at his skills. What have they done with his skills? They've taken away dipping shot, rising shot, and track back. And we've got new skills where, what have we got? Long range curler is new, nice. Long range shooting, nice. Penalty specialist, meh. Aerial superiority is new, okay, cool. Fighting spirit is new, so we've got some good additions there. Long range curler, a very nice one. You've got heading, acrobatic, and aerial. He's gonna be great in the air. He's about 6 foot tall, jumping 78. Yeah, he'll be all right in the air. We'll certainly get the end of some crosses, but if he's up against big, strong defenders, then I don't know, he's not going to be particularly dominant in the air. But certainly, if you do put a cross on his head, he's going to be very capable. Got first-time shot, of course. One-touch pass. Fighting spirit's a nice one to have. Heel trick's handy. Yeah, he got a pretty good selection of skills on this guy. It's kind of a bit of an all-rounder. I wonder if the fox in the box playing style might have been better suited to him, at least in terms of the attributes, the balance of the attributes. As a goal poacher, we do have a bit more pace than we normally have, so yeah, he can finish. 85 finishing is borderline for me. I'd like a bit more. I think anything less than 85 would be a little bit disappointing. But 85 at least is all right because we're in +3 territory. So you're going to get up to 88 with the maximum game plan boost. But I'd still like it to be a bit higher. The attacking awareness, I would definitely like to be higher. But he's tidy enough on the ball for a poacher. Passing could be worse. Got a bit of pace. Got kicking power behind his shots. Physically quite strong. He does have qualities, but yeah, there are a few weaknesses with a few attributes. And you can't. There's no French League challenge as well. So, is he going to get any squad for divisions? Are you rocking a Portugal squad? I think for some people it could be a handy one to have, and it's a decent version of Ramos. But if you look at the attributes that aren't so great, he kind of lets him down. And the fact there's no league challenge as well. So there's some real pros and cons to this one. In terms of the attributes, in terms of the skills, we've got some good ones added, to be fair, but lack of the French League challenge as well. So yeah, real pros and cons. It's not a bad card, could be a handy one to have, but without a league challenge and with some of the attributes, especially the awareness being a bit on the low side, yeah, it's a card that's it's a bit disappointing for me. I think it could be a handy one to have. It could be well worth giving him a try if you pick him up. And there are certainly some positives to him. The pace being boosted a bit and good skills and everything. But yeah, there's some real negatives as well. So for some people could be a handy striker. But I think for a lot of people, probably not going to quite make the grade. And next we have Eze from Palace. So this is a popular card. He's really nice in game, this guy. Got a face scan, whole player, which is normal playing style, attacking midfielder. The whole profile looks pretty similar to what he normally has, really. We've had a few versions of Eze. To be honest, they're all good. I've had a few versions of this guy. He's had a player of the season card, and a kind of trending one. I think it was the end of the last season. If anything, probably slightly better than this one. He's had a couple of previous whole player of the week cards, if anything, are probably slightly better than this one as well, but not a lot of difference. And there was a classic number 10 version of him in Player of the Week that had a booster. When that was fully boosted, slightly better than this one as well, I would say. It's really not a lot of difference. to be honest, he's just another Player of the Week version of Eze. They're all really good. This guy feels really nice on the ball. He's got something about him when he dribbles, really smooth. One thing that's worth considering with Eze though, I didn't realise this myself, but someone pointed out in the Discord, his height changed a while ago. He used to be 173 centimetres, I think. So they put about 6 centimetres on his height. It's not a massive difference, but when players are shorter, they do feel that a little bit more nimble. So that's something worth considering maybe. Like I say, I don't think it's a game changer by any means, but a lot of the previous versions of him, the previous Player of the Week cards, I think most of those had that lower height on him. If you look at his highlight cards, similar story with the height. Most of his highlight cards, I think, were before his height got increased. In terms of his overall ability, he's kind of in between the two Premier League pack versions. I've had both of them. The old Premier League, the one from the older Premier League pack, he had the lower height. He wasn't quite so good. The more recent one, obviously, is a bit better, and he's a bit taller. This one's kind of in between in terms of overall ability, but again, not a massive difference. And there was an old highlight card of his as well, which wasn't quite as good as this one, but again, stats are shuffled around. It's really good on the ball, that version of him. He does tend to be better on the ball. His trainable cards, he's been nerfed on the ball from his GP card. That'll be why. They've taken a couple of points off his ball control and type possession. They've taken 5 points off his dribbling from his GP card and auto allocation, so it's very frustrating, albeit he's still going to go 90 plus with all three of the attributes with the maximum boost. So I think you can afford to lose those points, but it is a bit of a shame, and it is a bit strange, but it is what it is. But they have boosted his finishing, they've boosted his speed a bit, they boosted his defending a bit, of course. Physical contact's a nice boost as well. We've gained a point on balance, incredible. So an attacking player who hasn't had his balance nerfed, nice. So yeah, on the whole, you got another nice version of Eze. Like I say, it's not the best version we've had, but most of the better versions of Eze, I mean, most of the versions we've had, they're all roughly the same. There's not a lot of difference. You've had a classic number 10 playing style on one of his Player of the Week cards. It does make that a bit different. Apart from that, he's always a whole player. His height has changed a bit, obviously, since they put his height up. So some versions of him are shorter than this, but he's got reasonable pace, lovely on the ball, a little bit of end product. That's generally the story with Eze, and he's a really nice one to have. He's one of these cards where you look at him and think, yeah, he looks pretty nice, but it's when you get him and you get him on the ball, you start moving around with him, you realise he feels really nice. He's got that something about him. He's one of these cards. There are some cards on this game that just feel really nice, and he's one of them. He's got unwavering form as well. Let's have a look at the skill situation. You've got double touch fit for soul control. There's your ball roll double touch. What else they've done skill wise? Well, they've changed quite a bit. Okay, so they've taken away Marseille turn. They've taken acrobatic finishing away. That's a shame. Penalty specialist and gamesmanship. I think we can live without those two. They've added long range curler. Nice addition. First time shot, also a nice addition. Through passing. That's a very nice addition. And fighting spirit. So they've done some really good business with the skills there. Obviously, it's a bit of a shame losing acrobatic finishing. I think some people would really miss Marseille turn as well. But to gain long range curler, first time shot, through passing and fighting spirit, I think that's very good news on the whole. Because he does tend to lack some of the more important skills for an attacking player, Eze. But even if we've still not got one touch pass, through passing is a real good one to throw in. First time shot, long range curler as well. I think with this Eze card, what you're looking at, I'm not going to compare him directly to the Zalewski card, but if you're looking at an attacking midfielder, you've got to look at the passing, and again, the low pass attribute is not the highest. We do have through passing this time. I do think you can get away with him as an attacking midfielder, but I would still like that low pass to be higher. The one that I just recently got from the recent or the current Premier League pack, I've got his low pass up to I think 87, so he hits the 90 mark with the maximum boost. 83 for me is a bit lower even with through passing. So yeah, I don't know if this guy is going to be great as an attacking midfielder just purely based on the passing. I think plenty of people will like him in that position simply because he's so good on the ball, and he's not going to have terrible passing. Like I say, I would like it to be a bit better in that position. But I think for a lot of people playing on wide left, whether you go a left wing forward without an active playing style or left midfield with the whole player playing style active, that's where I personally like to use him. Ever since I picked up the first Premier League pack version of him, I've used him in the English League Challenge. He's my favourite left midfielder, pretty much my favourite left midfielder to use in that League Challenge as a whole player, and he's fantastic for me there. He might not have electric pace, but he's lovely on the ball. He's got a bit of end product. I've given mine one touch pass and through passing. He makes good attacking runs. He's lovely on the ball. He can pass the ball depending on how you train him. So yeah, as a left midfielder, low pass attribute not quite so important. I think you can certainly get away with it being where it is with the through passing skill. Finishing and attacking when it's good on a wide man. He's good on the ball even if he's not as good as he normally is. Pace is decent. I think on wide left is where most people probably have the most joy with this guy. They've added some really nice skills. Coming off the left flank onto his right foot with long range curl on first time shot. He's got your ball right double touch, and the fact that he's lovely on the ball already, even without the skill moves. Through passing, outside curler, fighting spirit. Yeah, I think what they've done with the skills, the overall profile, yes, statistically it might not be the best version of Eze we've had, but it's near enough as good as most of the other versions we've had. It's a very nice card, and like I say, if you've not had a version of him, if you do get this guy, give him a try. I imagine you'll probably find what most people find, which is that he's really nice in the ball. He's a really nice card to have. You could get away with him through the middle if you think his passing is good enough. I personally don't think it is, but certainly wide left, whether it's without an active playing style left and forward, or as a whole player left in field, in English League Challenge, or maybe in divisions, it's a really good card to have. All Eze cards are good cards to have. And yeah, I imagine if you've not got a good version already, if you get this one, you'll be very happy. It's a good one to pick up this. And next is our goalkeeper. We've got Emiliano Martínez from Villa. Of course, he's got a face scan, attacking goalkeeper, good height, it's about 6'5", and good goalkeeper. Look at these goalkeeper attributes. So all but one of these with the maximum game plan boost are going to go 90 plus. And he's got good height as well. He's not got crazy long arms, but they're not short either. So he's got good size on him, good reach, and his attributes are good. This is a good goalie card. As far as I can see, it's just about the best version we've had of Martínez. We've had a bunch of Player of the Week versions. The only one that looks as good is the one that's got a booster. When it gets the booster, it's around about the same. If anything, the goalie stats on that one may be slightly better than this one, but this one's got about 5 points more on line lofted pass, which might matter to you, it might not. For me, I think that is going to make a bit of a difference. But yeah, that other Player of the Week version with the booster, pretty similar to this one. And if you look at the best highlight version of Martínez, this is comparable to the best ones, to be honest. It's about as good as we've had. So yeah, this is up there with the best version of Martínez that we've had. It's a really good goalie card, this. The parrying and reflexes are the biggest boost from his GP card, and like I say, all these goalie stats are good. Awareness, reflexes, reach, catching. I mean, all 4 of those going 90 plus with the game plan boost. He's going to end up with 93 on his reflexes. Parrying's going up at 89. This is a really strong goalie card, this. It's got low punt as well, long throw, penalty saver. Yeah, this is one of the better goalkeepers we've had in Player of the Week. We have had quite a few in recent months with some very good attributes, but some of those goalkeepers aren't quite so big as this guy. We have had some very, very big goalies like the likes of obviously Vanya and so on, but they don't always have great goalie attributes across the board. Some of them tend to be good, but not all of them. But what you got with this guy, you got a big goalkeeper, and all his goalkeeper attributes are good, and you could say very good, certainly with the reflexes. So yeah, all things considered, I don't think you can ask for much more from a Player of the Week goalkeeper. This is a fantastic goalie card, especially for the English League Challenge, but just in general, even in divisions and so on. I think this guy can definitely hold his own. Could probably end up being one of your better goalkeeper options, unless you've got a lot of, unless you're absolutely stacked for goalie options. You've got the likes of Buffon, Czech, and all the rest. Outside of those goalies, I think this guy stacks up really well. This is a really good goalkeeper card. And Raphinha is back in Player of the Week again. And again, they've added left midfield and made him a whole player. They've done that like 3 or 4 times now. When are they just going to change his GP card to a whole player and give him left midfield? They just keep changing it. But yeah, once again, he's a whole player left midfielder. He's got a booster. Let's just activate the booster straight away. Of course, he's got a face scan. Unwavering form these days. This is another good version of Raphinha. I mean, they've changed it from left wing forward to left midfield. Like I say, they've changed it from prolific winger to whole player. Maybe you prefer prolific winger, maybe you prefer whole player. It's a matter of preference. But yeah, it's one of the better Player of the Week versions that we had with Raphinha. It's one of the better versions on the whole. Very similar to previous left midfield whole player cards, to be honest. They shuffle the stats around here and there on all his Player of the Week cards. But if you've got one of the previous left midfield whole player versions, it's very similar to what you've got, really. There's been a Showtime version that was a whole player with left midfield. That's obviously the best version we've had of Raphinha. But outside of that, yeah, this version of him stacks up pretty well against the better trainable versions. Most of them are prolific wingers and wide forwards. The only trainable I can see that's got the left midfield position and the whole player playing style is the recent one from that Role Changers pack. I picked that one up. It's a very good one. And yeah, this one stacks up pretty well. It's up there. It's comparable to the better version we've had of him, apart from that Showtime card. It's a good version. He's rapid. He's good on the ball. He's got very good attacking awareness. That goes perfectly with his whole player playing style. He can finish. Low enough to pass up. Brilliant. Let's look at the skills situation. Do we have through passing? No. Okay. So we've got a one-touch pass, but yeah, you're going to be careful with his passing. It's not brilliant. And even with pinpoint crossing, his crossing's not going to be great. But First time shot, long range shooting. Yeah, it's an interesting card, this Raphinha card. It's a question of what he's going to be good at, you know, because if you're going to be cross-spamming with him on the left-hand side, his lofted pass at 74, his crossing is not great. If you put him wide right, he's not got long range curlers, which is a bit of a shame. So it's statistically one of the better versions of him, but if you might prefer a trainable version where you can give him some of the skills like long range curl and through passing. I don't know, but yeah, skill-wise, we do have some good ones. Just 1 or 2 skills a bit lacking there. Long range curl and through passing primarily. But what they actually changed though, they've taken away quite a few changes there. They've taken away scissors feint, dipping shot, acrobatic finishing, penalty specialist, and captaincy. And they've added long range shooting, first time shot, one touch pass is new, track back, and fighting spirit. To be honest, some of these skills are the kind of skills that should be on his GP card already. I mean, at this point, the way he's been playing for so long for Barca, I know they tend to be very slow to update just about everything on this game, but yeah, this looks like a version of Raphinha that's kind of roughly the way his GP card should be, really. But like I say, there's 1 or 2 skills we could really do with long range curl if you're going to play him on the right, through passing if you're going to play him on the left, and I'll prefer a few more points on lofted pass if I'm going to play him on the left as well, with pinpoint crossing. So plenty of qualities, and statistically it's up there with the better version of Raphinha that we've had. But yeah, it's just a question of whether it quite fits the kind of profile you want in any of his positions. Certainly the passing is not good enough to play attacking mid. 75 low pass, no through passing, absolutely no chance I'm playing this guy as an attacking mid. We'll have to actually change with his attributes from his GP card. They boosted his tight possession a bit. They boosted defending and his physical contact. That's pretty much the bulk of the boost. Yay. I lost a few points of acceleration. We can live with that, I guess. But when we get the A form boost, we get those points back. Excellent. Yeah, that's about it, really. So yeah, it's a good card. It's one of the better versions we've had of Raphinha, but like I say, without wanting to sound negative about a very good card, I just think without long range curler, he's just not quite as good as you probably wanted to be coming off that right wing. And if you play him on the left, you'd want a few more points on lofted pass to go with pinpoint crossing, or you'd want through passing. Certainly you'd want through passing if you want to play him as an attacking mid, but the low pass isn't high enough anyway. So he's got plenty of qualities: pace, good on the ball, good attacking awareness and finishing from the left or right, getting into good attacking positions and scoring goals for you. Definitely very capable. Statistically, one of the better versions of Raphinha that we've had. But there are 1 or 2 downsides to him as well. But certainly to play him on the left or the right, the versatility he's got, especially for that Spanish league change, could be a handy one to have. It could be and it is, like I say, one of the better versions of Raphinha that we've had. Just 1 or 2 slight negatives, but I don't want to sound negative on the whole about a very good card. It is a very good card. It's just a question of whether the overall profile really fits perfectly for you as a left wing or a right wing. I certainly don't see him being an attacking mid from many people, but yeah. 1 or 2 slight concerns there, but on the whole, it is one of the better versions of Raphinha. Very similar to his previous whole player left midfield, player of the week cards. And yeah, it could be a very handy one to pick up. Finally, we've got a Kylian Mbappé player of the week card. I waited forever. Right, got a face scan, goal poach like he normally is. I'm not going to spend much time talking about this Mbappé card because it is basically just another Mbappé card. You look at all the stats, there's nothing really stands out. There's nothing particularly interesting about him. He's had a bit of a boost on the ball compared to his GP card. His kicking power's up a little bit more stamina. He's lost a bit off his acceleration, basically his dexterity, his 3 dexterity attributes. But that's basically it. It's just another Mbappé card, very similar to previous player of the week cards. If you got one of the free France cards of Mbappé that they've given out for free once or twice in the past, you don't need this one. If you've got just about any half-decent version of Mbappé, you don't really need this one. It's just another Mbappé card, really looking at the attributes. Obviously, he's fantastic. He's quick. He's great on the ball for a poacher. He's got the awareness and the finishing. Unwoven form, plenty to be said for him. But like I say, nothing unusual, nothing particularly interesting compared to other versions of Mbappé. It's just another good Mbappé card, really. So if for some reason you don't have a good version of him already, especially being new to the game, fantastic card to pick up. But if you've got an Mbappé card already, it does a job for you. You don't really need it. But what I would say though is the one thing that is quite interesting about this Mbappé cards is the skill situation, because they've taken away scissors, feint, chop, turn, and captaincy. I don't think anyone's going to really miss any of those 3. They've added soul control, long range curler, and fighting spirit. Fighting spirit's nice. It's not the game changer really, but soul control and long range curler on Mbappé, that is interesting. So you look at the attributes on the whole. Yeah, it's just another Mbappé card, but just throwing soul controller and long range curler into the mix, that could be a bit of a game changer. It could be just a little bit. First time shot already, acrobatic finishing. Yeah, you got what you expect from Mbappé really, but just those 2 skills, that's the one thing really with this card that might make the difference for you, having soul control and long range curler, because long range curler is a great one to have. Soul control as well on Mbappé. He's got the pace, he's great on the ball. yeah, just those two skills, to be honest, they do make this card a very interesting version of Mbappe. But if you've got a good trainable version, you might have already put those skills on him, to be fair. But yeah, certainly if you've got a player of the week version, you might not have those skills. You might have one of them, you might not have either of them. But those two skills do make it a very interesting version. They're very nice additions to Mbappe, as is Fighting Spirit, to be fair. But just look at the attributes, just another version of Mbappe, really. But that's not to sound negative, because looking at it in isolation, looking at it objectively, it's obviously a fantastic card. So if you've not got a good version of Mbappe and you want one, brilliant. And even if you've got one already, you might really like a version that's got long range curl and soul control, because I do think those two skills could make a bit of a difference even on an Mbappe card. So yeah, just another Mbappe card really, but it is obviously a fantastic card. But not as fantastic as this one, because my boy Sandro is in. Yes, I'm biased, of course, as a Newcastle fan, but yeah, we've got another good Sandro Tonali Player of the Week card. We've had a couple before, this is the third. They've all been box to box. He's normally an anchor man. Just about every card we've had of Tonali has been an anchor man, except for his Player of the Week cards, where they always make him a box to box. He's got a face scan, of course. Only standard form, I think that's a bit harsh. He's one of the more consistent players. But yeah, it's another good version of Tonali. If you look at the two previous ones, actually he's weaker for accuracy, +1 before I failed to notice that, so that's good. But yeah, you look at the two previous ones, very similar, to be honest, in terms of overall ability. The previous Newcastle one from when he scored against Southampton, very, very, very similar to this one. If you got that one, you don't need this one. They're really, really close. If you got the AC Milan Player of the Week card, similar overall. Stats shuffled around quite a bit overall though. And one thing I will say for this card, though, compared to the AC Milan one, we got through passing this time, and that AC Milan version does not have through passing. So that is one thing to note. It stacks up well, this card, against best trainable versions of Sandro Tonali. Like I say, they are all anchor man. They've all got that different playing style. And what you find with the trainable version of Tonali is they tend to put more points on his defending with auto allocation. And he's not quite as good offensively, because obviously this is a box to box version. But overall ability pretty similar. You can train him to be pretty similar overall. If you can look at his GP card, like I say, they've kind of shuffled the points around, made him a bit better offensively, and taken some points away from the defending. I will complain when they nerf certain attributes when it doesn't make sense. For example, if they nerf the finishing or the attacking awareness on a centre forward, that doesn't make sense. But on Tonali, if he had played a more offensive role, I can understand it. They have nerfed him defensively, but that's because they boosted him in a bunch of areas. They boosted attacking awareness, which still isn't great, to be fair. They boosted him a bit on the ball. They boosted his finishing. His acceleration is up a bit. His physical contact's up a bit as well. So yes, we've lost some points off defending, but this is the box-to-box version of Tonali. And as an all-rounder, you've got a really, really good, solid midfield card. He looks very good on the whole. And skill-wise, they have added through passing, as I mentioned. They've also added blocker. That's a nice addition. First-time shot as well. That's a new one, handy, I guess. What they've taken away, rising shot and low loft to pass. Low loft to pass, I think, is a bit of a shame to lose that, but yeah, pretty good selection skills in the whole, to be honest. If they've taken Fighting Spirit well, I find it hard to believe he's not already got Fighting Spirit. Surely Sandro Tonali's got Fighting Spirit, but yeah, that's one skill that would be nice to have there. Maybe his man marking if I'm being greedy, but one touch pass, through passing, first time shot and longest shooting, soul control, interception and blocker defensively. You got a bit of everything with this card. It's a really good, solid all-rounder of a midfield card. You could put him in some kind of double pivot as an all-rounder in that kind of a role, could be great. Or as a centre fielder, getting up and down the pitch. Yes, the attack awareness is a bit low, but apart from that, everything's looking pretty solid. It's a shame they've not put at least one more point on low pass so you could hit that 90 mark. That would be nice with the maximum game plan boost, but it is all it is. We've at least got through passing this time. And across the board, he's looking pretty solid. This is a very nice midfield card to have for the English League Challenge. Could be a really, really handy one to have for your midfield options for the English League Challenge, but just in general, it's a strong card. This is a midfielder. Obviously, a slightly different profile to what he tends to have, but as an all-rounder, either in some kind of double pivot or in any kind of midfield role as a box-to-boxer, very solid card this. I think it could be a very handy one for a lot of people to pick up. So there is your Player of the Week selection. I think it depends which way you look at this pack. I think on the whole, you've got to say it's a pretty solid one. I think it's one of the better ones we've had recently. I don't see any major duds. I think Zalewski for me is probably the weakest in the pack. Zalewski and Ramos probably the two least desirable for me personally. But even those two cards are decent enough. Škriniar's a solid centre back. Lang, league challenge to use him in, but he looks like a pretty tidy option off that left wing. Müller, it's an interesting Müller card. Could be one of these collectible cards really. Sørloth could be a very effective striker for a lot of people. and any Eze card's a good card, and that's another good one. A very good goalie card, Raphinha. Is he gonna quite, he's gonna quite fit the kind of profile you want without Milan Škriniar coming off the right wing, not better at crossing off the left wing, no through passing. There's one or two slight concerns, but that's another good version of Raphinha. Could be very handy one to have. Another Mbappé card. It's just another Mbappé card, but he does have soul control and long range card, which could be a bit of a low key game changer for some people, depending what version of him you've got already. And it's Tonali, a very solid centre midfield card. So yeah, I think it's a solid pack on the whole. Solid is a word I would use. That might sound a little bit negative, because I think on the whole, if you look at it objectively in terms of the numbers, the stats, and everything, I think it's one of the better packs we've had in a while, to be honest. I don't think there are too many cards in there that are really exciting, but I do think overall it's a pretty solid selection. I think one thing especially for this pack is that if you're quite new to the game, might be one of the packs that's more worth spinning, because if you were going to put a few hundred coins onto this pack when you're new to the game, you've not got that many good cards yet, I think the likelihood is you're going to get some pretty good value for your coins. So yeah, I don't think it's a massively exciting pack, but I do think it's a solid one. I think it's one of the better ones we've had recently. So yeah, pretty decent pack on the whole, I think. So there you go. Hope you found that interesting. Let me know what you think of the pack. Let me know who you've got from your spin. As I mentioned at the start, I will be doing the nominate contract, the match pass players next. I'll start on that straight away. Hopefully I'll get that one done this afternoon or this evening. If it's not live today, then it'll be live tomorrow morning. So I'll get onto that, and I'll be live streaming hopefully tomorrow, and maybe it's Monday as well. So hopefully I'll see you soon for the next video or live stream. Hopefully you found this video useful. Thank you for watching as always. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.